So, hello, everyone, dear lights of our new world. Welcome to our call on the 15th of 05. And we are 1505 today and 2025. How exciting! So, welcome, everyone. Hello to you. If you can come on camera, that would be awesome because I so love to see you. And of course, I'm going to even put us on gallery so then I can see you even better.
Agnes, I think I will take off the camera later because I just here, with
Oh,
with the dog out, and so I will switch off because I am walking.
yeah.
But I will hear,
Okay. Okay.
listen.
Okay. Good. No worries. No
Okay.
worries. So good. All righty. So, what I wanted to share with you before we dive in, and I hope Simela can join as well. I know Anche cannot because she's the only supervisor of her daughter, so she has to be all in with her. But maybe Simela can join because I am bringing, as I was saying, something very powerful for you guys. And when I say powerful, and you know it's powerful because I'm really talking about like taking in consideration the 18 years of me actively being in this industry. And honestly, I feel like I got something that very few people, if any, is doing. Like, and when like my approach and my curiosity was since like basically 18 years that I started my journey. Um, and why I started my journey, it was because of this inner emptiness or pain or unworthiness that I was feeling. And I always could see my talents and my gifts, but I could never feel that I'm like I couldn't feel them. And so everybody could see them, I couldn't see them. Everybody believed like, oh my God, you are so amazing. I never felt that. Every time I reached a new goal, every time I did something crazy, big, I always felt like, yeah, but that's not enough. Like it's not, I could do better. And even though the feedback was like, I wish like my friends and like I wish I could do 10% of what you do. If I was as curious, as daring, as crazy, as wild, as free, as this and this and that, um, to just do 10% of what you do. Um, that brave. I've heard that so many times. Like, you are so brave. And I'm like, and I never felt that, and that's true for everyone, right? So we are seeing ourselves through the lenses of not enough, through the lenses of our limitations. And maybe other people can see us, but we cannot. And this is what we call our shadow. I call it, right? Our shadow. And imagine the world, imagine your life, if you could live who you are, live your life, do your business, do your job, build the empire, build the dream life. If you didn't have the shadow. When we talk about higher self, and I promised last time that I'm going to talk a little bit about higher self, and I'm going to help you to do that, and walk you through that powerful meditation that I shared with you last time And I really hope that you tried at least once. So I'm really curious, like just give me a sign, any sign, or put it in the chat. Have you tried that thing that I shared with you last time? The one with imagining, like first connecting, right? Breathing a few times, emptying yourself, and then imagining your higher self, and then like and you, and then projecting it in front of you, and then seeing these light coming out from each of his her its chakras, and then going into your chakra, like kind of these beams of light, and then seeing it exploding in your chakra, and then becoming all light. um, and we also, I mentioned one of videos from Brittany, which I ended up sharing with you guys just after the call, next morning actually, where I invited you to watch it, and I hope you did, where she was sharing this um, of how to become the awareness of what you desire, right? How to choose in the morning to be the awareness of freedom or the awareness of abundance. Have any of you did any of these two?
Never watched it, but I haven't practiced it.
Claire, did you do any of these two?
Well, I watched the video, but I haven't practiced it, I'm afraid.
Okay. Thank you for your feedback. Anyone else?
Well, I tried to do it with a light, like you told, but not exactly.
Okay.
More or less,
All
let's
right.
say.
Okay. So we will do that then together, and then you're going to have a process which is recorded so that you can just go and listen and do along. It's truly very powerful. It's doing so many things for you in your body and all the bodies, right? So I mean emotional body, mental body, physical body. Yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing I'm seeing a double Leonie today, but I'm guessing that they are just being thrown off the internet. So anyway, hello guys. Welcome back. So what I was talking about, and what I want to actually talk about more today, and I told you that I want to do, and we're going to do that meditation with the higher self, because it's also so powerful. So I want you to have an experience of that. And but today I want to do something even more powerful than that. So what I was talking about at the introduction is realizing something so profound. And so talking about the shadow end. So the shadow end and your light. So every human being on the planet right now is fighting with their own shadow. And your higher self is your true self. So I think I will stop keep saying higher self, because that implies that it's somewhere higher, because that's what people believe. They don't, when you say higher self, you don't, or the majority of people don't really think about a higher version of who you are, but they think about higher as like it's up there, out there somewhere. But we are talking higher means highest, actually, the highest self. And it's your true self. It's who you really are without your shadow. And when I say shadow, I mean your fears. Truly, that's all that is, right? So it's your fears, because when you think about all the limitations you have, all the beliefs that you have, they all come down to fear. Everything, right? They all come down to, let's say, maybe even all the emotions in the end of the day, like shame or unworthiness or pain or anger or like hatred, like all come down to fear. In the end of the day, is some type of fear. It's a fear even all the fears, just listen to this, all the fears, they all come also down to one core thing. This is the big realizations I had, well, basically last week. So, and this is what I've been looking for my entire life, especially the last few years since I started working with others full time. Because I had this thing in my head, I don't know from where, that there must be one thing that if I find it and I just take that one thing out, everything would collapse in their lives. Every limitation will go. So this was something that kind of was my goal since I started working with others. Most of the time conscious, most of the time unconscious, that I had this thing in my head, like, okay, but there must be something, that there must be one thing. So when you imagine, for example, this castle, right? A castle of cards or a tower of cards, right? Playing cards, put a water on top of each other, right? There is one card that if you take out, the whole tower collapses. Only one card, which basically could be one of the obviously base cards, right? The basic, one of the first row. And then you just basically take it out and everything goes down. So this is something that I've been looking for to find. This is why I learned so many things, and I wanted to be able to read people's energy, read people's lives, read people's purpose, read people's past lives, everything, right? I just wanted to be able to read the whole book instantly, so I can find that one thing that if I dismantle, or if I just take it out, their whole shadow would collapse. And then what remains, it's your true self. So what remains is who you would be, basically everything that you are, all the knowledge you have, all the experiences you have, all the gifts you have, all the talents you have, all the amazingness, all the calling, all the dreams, all the desires, like everything you love, but you can't really go after them. You can't really live it. You can't really be free and joyful and present and in this trusting and loving life because of the fears. So that's what we call shadow. This is what I call gift and shadow. So right now, the shadow is created by the matrix, right? You come into the shadow. So that's what we talk about. You, your true self, as consciousness, as unlimited consciousness, comes into your body, so takes up a manifestation of a body, basically creates a body to manifest and then experience itself through you. But you have a programming. You come into a shadow. So you come in as a true unconsciousness, but when you incarnate, you take on automatically the shadow. The shadow is the collective consciousness, which is filled with the limitations, right? All the limitations, the fears, like just imagine the fear of failure, the fear of abandonment, the fear of being outcasted, the fear of being shamed, the fear of not being good enough, like all these that come on top, right? And then we start having all these yucky experiences, so we start to even put more stuff on top, and then we start basically stop living. Because then we are so afraid of life and failing and, being unloved or rejected or abandoned and all those like 100 million things that we started to be afraid of. And then we just put ourselves in a cage. And then all we want is freedom. Of course, because if you put yourself in a cage, right, you want out, because your true self knows this is not normal. So you have that inner calling. That's why all of us start the spiritual journey, because of that inner calling for freedom because you feel this is not okay. You feel this is not normal. You know that you should enjoy life. You know you should enjoy abundance. You know that you should just live your life and laugh all day and have amazing times and have all your desires coming to you, not you chasing anything, but you allowing your higher self to bring it to you because that's who you are. You are your higher self. You are the highest version, but it's dimmed. It's filtered. It's all the shit on top. So what we do and what we have been doing and what everybody is actually doing at the end of the day is taking off these layers. But nobody really knows what is that one card. So what we did in the last 20 years, because I started my journey when I was 22 and now I'm turning 44. So it's 22 years, of which the first few years were more about conspiracy theories. There was a lot of knowledge that I wanted to, like, who the heck we are, what are we doing here, what's the history of a planet, the history of a galaxy, why is this matrix, why we have the shadow, where this fucking shadow is coming from, and million different things that I wanted to know. So I spent the last first 4 years or 5 years of that more in learning and reading. And then when I was 27, I started to actually go to therapy, start working on myself, discovering like, who am I? What is driving me? What are the beliefs I have? What is the things that I believe it's true about me? And so on and so forth. So I kind of can tell you today's what I'm sharing with you today now, it's the pinnacle of that journey. And guys, I realized why it took me so long. Because first of all, nobody knows how the heck you can find that one card. So everybody starts taking off one by one from the top, right? That's what we think we need to know. So, or do. So we say like, keep taking one card and one card. And the cards are like limiting beliefs. Well, the cards are emotions. The cards are past stories. The cards are things you inherited from your parents, then karma, past lives, subconscious reprogramming, and then you do all these million different techniques. Everybody is working on one aspect because they don't know what else. I mean, nobody understands, I would say very, 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 very few people understand, because very, 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 very few people are on the level of consciousness to oversee everything. So if you are down here, you only see what's down here. When you go one level up in consciousness, then you get access to that level of understanding, knowing, and creating reality. And then the more you go on a higher levels of consciousness, which means becoming more of your true self, then you are able to access levels which we were locked. It's like a game like a computer game. Okay, everybody knows a computer game. You have levels. So at basic level, when you just start out, you don't even know how the heck you can use your powers. You have no freaking idea of the game. You have maybe 2 coins you start out with, but as you get better and better, you start going up the levels, you start to have more power, you start to understand the game. You fail a million times, so next time you go back, you know exactly how to where is the shortcut. So, and then eventually you finish the game and you exit. But that journey, it's levels of consciousness in real life as well, meaning that you finish the game when you get to higher levels and higher levels, so you start to understand better the game, and you are much, if you talk with a person, you are on level 8 and you start talk with a person on level 2, you are a fucking professional, you are an expert, because you already done that, so this is what I'm really talking about, but in the game of life. And I had the opportunity and the fortune, the luck, to learn lately from one of the highest levels of consciousness person. And I've been with her, working with her, learning from her since February. So more or less 2 months. And I can totally say that not just that she is one of the highest levels of consciousness on the planet right now, but she is still expanding because we never stop. And then she is teaching us from someone, or the teachings from someone who's even higher. So, which is very few on the planet right now. So which means that they are able to access information that because they're overseeing the whole thing, they're overseeing the game of consciousness, they are able to also see what is that one thing that if we do, the matrix collapses, or your fear, your shadow collapses. And well, this is what I know now. And I've tried it, guys, and it's just so crazy because nobody does this. And it's so easy, of course, because we overcomplicated everything, because we were always creating it from the level of mind where we were. Like, all the techniques are created from the level of mind where the person was. And that's most of the time it's lack, like 99% of the time. 99% of the things created right now on planet Earth in total, including spirituality and techniques and methods, come from lack. Obviously. Obviously. So because I'm suffering, so I'm going to create something that's going to help me release the suffering, but it's created from suffering. So what I'm going to share with you, it's created from oneness. So they realize how, like, because they're looking from here, so of course they can see the suffering, and it's like, it's super easy. And I've been practicing this. I would say I started to practice alone because I realized this in December myself. But then the last weekend I went to a 1-day retreat with this person. And then she talked about exactly the same thing that I started doing since December. So I was like, oh my God, like this is something that I've already realized, but she made it even kind of simpler. Now, with all this introduction, guys, it's something that I've been talking to you since December. So this was the biggest aha moment, because I was like, oh my God, like this is, I've been teaching since December for you, but we really never really did it. So, and Simela just appeared, which I'm so happy that she's coming in. She's just coming, exactly. Hello, Simela, you're just coming in when you have to come in. So I'm glad you are here because I'm talking about something super important.
Okay, great.
Yay! Yes. So I've just basically did the whole freaking introduction of half an hour. So what I've been talking to you guys in one sentence, so Simona, you catch up with us. That all our pain, all our suffering, all our limitation of not being able to do what we want to do, is because of our fears, right? So this is what I want to show you, because we talked about this, we talked about holding it, we talked about a million things in the last few weeks, but we did not do it. And this is the key. The key is the doing. It's even if you know 1 million things, which I know, and I've read so many things, and I know so many things, and I have all these and had all these amazing abilities, none of this matters. So it's just really crazy that I always believed that, like, and this is why I'm really want to tell you, it doesn't matter if you have mystical experiences or you don't have. It doesn't matter if you nothing matters really. Because the only thing is if you have your shadow, you are limited in what you want to do. You cannot really be the true self, be the one who has no fear. So I'm inviting you to, and I really, I'm thinking, like, maybe I'm just going to explain it first, and then we're going to do it. Okay, so take a bit of time right now and think about your biggest fear, whatever it is. So I'm going to help you to find it. I want to, even if we don't even have to go with fear, but the emotion that is a reoccurring emotion in your life that you feel that if you didn't have that, everything would change. And I'm going to give you some ideas. And the way you can find it is think about your last trigger, the last story where you were triggered into an emotion, an, let's say, uncomfortable emotion, okay? It can not just be fear. It can be fear, but it also can be anything else. I'm happy to talk to each of you. So like to actually find the emotion, to actually identify how did that make you feel.
Mhm.
And as you know, anyone, like it can be, the trigger can be caused by a person, can be caused by a situation, or can be caused by a thing, or can be caused by a thought as well, right? I just had a client and we were talking about, and it's like, I'm not triggered by people, I'm not triggered by people at all. It's like, what are you triggered by? Well, I'm not triggered by situation either. And I'm like, okay, so tell me about the last time when you were triggered. And it turns out it's a thought that came. Like he was like, la, 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 and then boom, all of a sudden a thought came in like, it had, and this is the thought he'd had. It has been too long that I am without a job. So, he was so happy being in his certainty that, the job is coming, is going to find me the perfect job because we did the job. We did our job, right? He imagined it, he felt it, he get super clear about what he wants, first of all, right? First step, super clear about what he wants, like what kind of job, where, for how much money, and what he's doing there, how is he feeling while he's doing that. And then he imagined it, different scenes of that, what is the word? Fulfilled reality, right? So it's not just a desire, it's a fulfilled reality. And then I said to him, okay, now you did it for a week. He was like, I want to continue, one more week. I want to, because it makes me so happy to keep, projecting myself into that fulfilled reality. And I said, okay, when you're done, you have to stop. And now you're like, it's fulfilled. And now you start, doing your thing, knowing that it's coming to you. There's nothing else to do for you. So he did that. And then he was, happy. But now time is passing, right? And then there's no sign, no sign of, no proof. Like that nothing is happening. And there's so many people, when they start doubting in this, like, I don't know, there is everybody has a certain time where they are still like, yeah, I'm trusting, all is good. And then, there's one moment they start looking around in the 3D reality, and all of a sudden they get triggered by the lack of what they're looking for, right? It's not here yet. And then the moment that you feel like it's not here yet, and then you start creating the story in your head. So this means blah, 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 whatever. And then boom, you triggered yourself in, and then you're already in the emotion. So I just want you to pick the last trigger you had and tell me what is the emotion that you felt. Who wants to start? Because I want you to be clear on this before we do anything, because it's the first step of doing this work with me or alone.
Are you talking about fear? Do you mean things you're physically afraid of?
No.
No,
Things
right.
that, so, well, yes
mean-
and no. Like, okay, so tell me
Well,
something
I
that,
mean, just to give you an example,
yes,
I'm
something.
not afraid of walking on the top of a ridge in the hills, but I am afraid of finding myself in a dense crowd of people. That will trigger me. Not, it hasn't happened for decades, but it would.
Yeah, okay. But
So
I'm
that's
thinking
that.
about
But
something that happened last week. The
right,
last thing that triggered you, a real situation.
right. Well, what triggers me is thoughts,
Okay.
which come to me, and they're usually things I suddenly revisit an incident that I'm ashamed of. So I suppose my biggest trigger is shame.
Okay. Very good. So you identified shame. We know it for you. Renate.
Well, I thought just
Oof, I don't hear you though.
Oh, now?
Yeah, better.
Well, I try to speak in here.
Okay.
Well, so my trigger is like when I feel like physical problems, like I get fear when I now my back hurts a lot, and it's like boy, I get a physical problem, and I get ill. That's my big fear. Not to lose money or all this is more like that I get ill and I can't do the things anymore what I love to do or to work or something like this.
Okay, so ill meaning like you're going to be in bed, or what kind of fear?
Yeah, for example, like that my I have a lot of pain of the back, that I have to go to make operation to then I will have this always and can't do the things. I always have to take care of my body, like things like this. Like the problem with when I have this heart problems, um, it's something more illness than just emotional or muscular problems.
Okay, so basically you're saying that you are afraid that you're going to be ill, and then what? Like what's the fear behind it? I mean, like you're going to be ill, and then what will happen?
Yeah, well, that I can't go ahead with my life like I'm used to.
Okay, what does that mean for you?
Yeah, that means that how is difficult. That means that I will be ¿cómo se dice? I can explain it in Spanish.
Yeah, sure.
Pienso cuando ahora me pasa esto, que estoy enferma, que no puedo seguir, que no puedo trabajar, que tengo que quedarme en casa porque tengo un problema o que, por ejemplo, del corazón tengo, que no puedo hacer deporte porque tengo una debilidad enorme y me quita a vivir la vida normal como persona joven.
Ujú.
¿Así se entiende?
¿Se entiende? Pero qué es el miedo grande ahí cuando te tienes que quedarte en casa para siempre, o que no puedes caminar, o que no vas a tener dinero? ¿Cuál es lo más grande ahí?
Mm.
¿O que
No,
alguien tiene
no, no,
que
me
ocuparse de ti o de cuidarte?
no, es como si ahora tengo un problema con la espalda, que te tengo que ir, que me tienen que operar, o que me quita la posibilidad de vivir la vida libre, que siempre
Ah,
tengo
vale, ok. Freedom, that's what we're talking about.
Ah,
Yes, so it takes away your freedom.
yes.
Freedom to live your life. Right. Very good. Okay, so that's yours, right? The freedom, the fear of losing your freedom.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, who's next? Yes, Leo.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. That's really funny because I listened to Renate and I thought it's perder autonomía, perder independencia. So I really thought it's like, yeah, losing your freedom. And I have a similar fear. And it's interesting because I haven't thought about physical ailments or limitations, but simply the fear of being dependent on someone or an institution or anything. For example, not having enough money and then having to work for someone else and following the orders and instructions. So I primarily thought about this kind of freedom, but now listening to Renate, I thought, okay, yeah, sure. You might also become dependent on someone when you're not physically capable of taking care of yourself and your life. So there's definitely something there, fear related.
How about, okay, what was the last experience that you had a trigger? The last, like this week, last week, something like that happened, either a situation, a person triggered you, something you saw triggered you, something you
Yeah.
thought.
I mean, so the triggers that I have are related to another topic. So this is not being acknowledged. So doing something for someone else, like out of wanting to help or seeing something that I could improve, and then instead of not being praised or being thanked for, I feel getting criticized or like I don't get the acknowledgement that I thought I would get. But instead,
Now we're
I'm being
talking. Now we're
criticized like,
talking.
oh,
Okay,
I don't
okay,
need that.
okay.
I'm like,
Right.
okay, thanks. So
Very
last time
good.
I did something for you.
Tell,
So
tell me,
this is,
tell me a little bit more about that. So what do you feel when somebody is not, you say, like ghosting you or judging or critic, which is the situation?
no, it's just okay. It's related to my father.
Okay.
So he's used to living independently, and now I'm here in my parents' home because I was supporting him, and I see certain things that can be improved or that might help him that I do, but maybe without asking him first, or like I have the impression that my father feels kind of overruled or not being in charge of the situation. And yeah, this causes some kind of anger,
Okay.
apparently.
Yeah. Good, 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 good. Okay. What we want is to become aware of what's the emotion. Like it, as I said, can be anything. Shame. These are the top five, guys. Anger,
No, I think it's anger. In my
anger,
case, it's anger. It's like, well.
anger. Uh-huh. So are you angry because you are ignored?
Um, Rather because I think I've wasted my time and energy.
Uh-huh.
And I
Okay.
think, okay, next time, yeah.
That he's not appreciating.
Busque de la vida.
Uh-huh.
That's what I feel. It's mostly like annoyment, or feeling like annoyed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's more this direction.
Okay.
Or like, yeah, having expected more gratefulness.
Yes.
So that the other person would be more grateful.
Okay.
But mostly
Very
it's
good. So
like,
what you are saying here is that you are there, you are doing your what you think is your job, you are giving, you are looking after, and then there is no payment for that. So there is no like gratitude for that coming from the other side. So you feel like you're giving, 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 and then you don't get anything in return.
yeah, or not. It's situational. So I think you can't say this in general. There are certain situations where I think, okay, now, so it's not always like this, but there are certain moments where I'm getting triggered where it's like this, but it's not always. It's not in general. It's not
Yeah.
like
Okay.
always.
Yeah, there's some boundaries problems there, but let's just forget about this now because as I'm saying, we can approach this in many different ways, but I want guys to do with you the ones that it's the fastest and the most effective one. And that's going to be through the emotion. Okay, so you have anger. Very good. Okay, next.
I can
Hi
go
guys.
next.
Ah,
Sorry, yeah, David first. Go on.
me? Okay, as you wish. Okay, sí, mira. Hi everyone. So I am not really sure what's the main issue because I have several of them, and it was
Take the
good
last
to
trigger, last thing that you were
last
triggered into
trigger
an
was
uncomfortable emotion.
it was today. I mean, I was talking to Leonie about the future, and it's uncertain because no one has been there. And I was so triggered. I'm not sure about if it's freedom or the lack of it in the future or limitation of options, or it could be like the non-enoughness that you talk about, that I mean, like trying, but not getting the results or not, that is, they are not enough for the lifestyle that I want or creating the life we want to live and so on. And I was so triggered because I noticed that my heart was racing and so on, and I was like, wow. And it was talking about the future, so it must be something there. Not really sure if it's that I'm thinking it is maybe not on the cards for me, or it's very difficult that I get that, or whether yeah, it could be that I think this is the
Okay.
point that I don't think I can pull it off. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, terrible.
Terrible.
Because
Okay, what's the
yeah,
emotion?
I mean, freedom. I really crave freedom, and this is something that I really want. And the lack of it in the future is like it
Okay,
feels
what's the
terrible. Like,
emotion?
yeah, I don't know. It's a negative, but I cannot describe it. It's it's like um resentment or
Disappointment?
disappointment. Yeah, more or less. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like, or like accepting it even though I don't get the word right now. Accepting it even though I think it's very lousy. I don't yeah, like, when you know this is not what I want, but okay, I have to accept it.
Okay, if I ask you why do you think that's not available for you?
It should be there should be a
Yeah,
way, but
why do you think? Because there is a part of you who is thinking that, so that's why you feel this. So why do you think this is not available for you? What's the
well,
thought?
yeah, that I'm not enough. I don't
Exactly.
have what it,
Yes,
yeah,
it's that.
yeah,
It's that. Because I'm not enough. What's the
yeah.
emotion that you feel when you hear that I'm not enough? When you believe that you are not enough?
Yeah, shame, closeness, yeah,
Very good. There we go. Shame. Okay, that's very typical with I'm not enough, it's always shame. Okay, so
Okay.
we are putting this all out
Yeah,
there
sure.
because
Yeah,
if
okay.
you fail, if you are afraid of failing, because if you fail, it's going to prove that you are not enough, so you're going to feel shame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank
Very
you.
good. Very, very
Yeah.
good. Guys, that is amazing. I'm having chills. Okay, Sibella, go.
Well, now I'm a bit confused after listening to David. Because I'm not really sure. I mean, the last trigger I had was like, well, a mini trigger. It was not a big thing, but it was like my parents telling my sister that, oh, we are so concerned about Simela and her business, and how is that going to continue? And we are so concerned because she has no income and blah, blah, blah. But they never called me. They never called me for that, you know? They just talked to my sister talked to me,
Yeah, they
but
are
they never.
afraid of you. They are afraid not conflict you, but what is the word? Well, to point you out or to name you out. Or I don't know what's the word now, but to call you out. So they don't want to confront you. That's the word. So they don't want to confront you, and they're not going to call you. But that's not important what they do or they don't do. What I want you is
Exactly. So
to
at the beginning, I thought like I was like angry, you know, like, oh, if they care so much, why don't they call me? You know, they just talk to everybody but to me. Why don't they call me? It was the first thing, and then I said, yeah, okay, whatever, it's their thing. I'm just going to leave that settle and call them in a couple of weeks.
Okay, I'm going to call you out in something much bigger
Okay.
because you've been constantly triggered with all your family members lately. So
Yeah, absolutely.
so they are all reflecting one thing in you, obviously. So this is very important now that we are talking about this because we are at the level where I didn't have to give you a big introduction, guys, because we did the introduction the last couple of months, 4 months even, that nothing like 99% of people, when they are triggered, they believe that triggers it's because of the person outside of them. So if they would change, you would feel better. If they wouldn't say that, you would have more peace. Or if your bank account would show this amount, then you would be this and this and that, or you would feel this and this and that. So
I think we are further than that by now, right?
at this stage, this is not true.
Exactly.
So that everybody is showing you something that is inside of you right now, and you are carrying it with you every day, and they're just pointing it out. So by now that they are just mirroring back something that's inside of you, and then it's keep triggering because it's there. So they are making you a big favor by showing you like what's inside of you and what is your limitation. And this is what we want to do here. Everybody is showing you your limitation and they pointing it out by reflecting it back to you. And guys, we didn't know what the fuck to do with this. So we can finally get over this. Because imagine that, and I know I know, Simela, what is your biggest fear, because and all of you guys, we have all the same fear. So at the
Not
end
enough.
of the day. So and
We
I
all
kind
end
of
up in the
pointed this
same
out to
basket.
you.
We all end up in the same basket.
Yeah, we are all in the same boat. So I even pointed this out to you last time when I said you're running away from something. That something if that something will turn out to be true about you.
Oh, I know.
That you are not fucking enough.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said before. Not
Yeah.
enough.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
failed
So
and I'm not enough. So
what was the first thing?
I'm failed.
Okay, I
I
failed.
failed.
Yes.
I failed
So
and I'm not enough.
I fail, so it turns out that I'm not enough. So it
Exactly.
proves, right? So it's now, and this is something that we have been running away, basically, all of us, basically, at least for 40 or if not 50 years, right? Depending how old you are, like 60 or I don't know, million, like since your whole freaking entire life. And what you did, you overcompensated for the not enoughness. Right? So I really want the second thing that I want you to be aware of. What do you do when you are triggered into that emotion? When you feel that emotion, what do you do to not feel it? So what is your escaping mechanism? We touched on this on one of the trainings, but we didn't go deep. So I really circling back now. What do you do? I'm going to share mine, what I was doing. I stopped doing it, guys, after, like, I'm so happy, like decades of suffering, it stopped. So my biggest problem was unworthiness. Like, as I said at the beginning, not seeing my worth and value. And because of that, so I was overgiving, right? Overgiving, overserving, but on the other side, I was not compensated for it because I was not able to communicate my worth and value. So for me, that was the biggest pain of my life, and this goes more beyond doing my online business. It goes back to basically my entire life. So no matter what I was doing, like art or teaching, I like all my time, all my life, whenever I was delivering something from myself, from me, from who I am, I was always undervaluing, undercharging, I was undercharging, I was underpaid. Like, it was always my biggest pain. Of course, because I believed I'm not enough, right? So as a compensation, every time that I was triggered into this pain, there was a thing that I was always doing, and that was learning more. And so I got into this loop of self-development because I was always experiencing the same thing, like always experiencing this like this pain, and I was compensating with learning more and becoming even better, and needing to know more. So my obsession, and even better word, addiction, because all of you have an addiction that comes to compensate on that, to push that down. So my pushing it down was always, okay, let me listen to another YouTube thing. Let me do another, listen to another video, another channeling, another training, another sign up for this thing, sign up for that thing. So always busy, 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 by distracting myself from the pain. So believing that if I just one day know enough, I will finally, feel worthy, and, like all the things. Or if I just finally be successful, I will feel worthy. Or if I finally will make this amount of money, I will finally feel enough. Like, bullshit. Like, that's never going to happen. So I reversed this, right? The last good few months, maybe 6, I started to look for, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why I wasn't able to do this or fix this until now. And now I did. And I'm like, oh God, okay, it took me quite a long time to understand how to fix this fast. But now I know how to fix it fast. And I want to do this with you as well. But it's very, very important to cover the awareness part, because I'm going to teach this to you, and then you're going to know what to do. And it's easy, and you will be able to do it alone every time you are triggered, either when you are triggered or after. Like, if you are in a meeting, you are not going to do this. You're going to just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do this tonight. Let's just, do this. And then I'm going to come back to this. The biggest, most craziest thing, that if we are able to hold this, and I talked about this in the last calls, if we are really able to hold the emotion, it's going to absolutely forever disappear. But what we do, and what I've been doing my entire life, and I'm out here telling you with my true heart that I always believed that this is the way, because everybody believes that this is the way, but it's not the way. So what we did, reprogram it. Like basically every way to escape it. Like you know, guys, it's really, really funny. But the only way it would go away, and I shared this with you, I remember like 2 calls ago, is actually if you would go and confront it, which means if you go and open the door to the basement and you allow the biggest fear, your biggest monster to come out and you face it, basically you allow it to feel it. And you are allowed to feel it until it dissolves, which can be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And maybe you cannot do it in one seat. Maybe you have to do it in 2 seats. It doesn't matter. But if you are able to allow it to be felt and allow it to actually go through your body, it would dissolve forever. And that's that's how we as children were doing it. This is why when you were 2 years old and you were angry, you showed your anger and you allowed it to go through you, you expressed it, and then all of a sudden everything was great, and then you went on doing what you were doing. Or you were sad, you showed that. You cried and cried until it completely was emptied, and then you went back playing. But what happens is that you started to be suppressed because nobody knew what to do with you, right? So adults were unable to hold space for your emotions because they got super confused and shamed because you were in public, let's say, and then you started to express your sadness because you didn't get the lollipop in the middle of the shop, right? And then your mother didn't know what to do with that. And because they believe this is their shame, so they, suppressed you. And we were all got suppressed. So what we learned, it's normal, is to suppress your emotions. So that's why there's so much, I would say, shit in the world, and also so much illness, and also so much mental illness, and so much emotional illness, because there's so much suppressed emotions carried that we are carrying on, and this is what is on top of your true self. So if you really think about it, or if you really give it a thought, either later, that all your triggers, if you just go back to your triggers the last month and then you just keep thinking back to all the triggers you had, you realize that all triggering the same emotion. Like there's really one, max 2: shame, anger, fear, right? So it's not that much, but they keep telling you, keep showing you, everybody, your boss, your colleague, your son, your daughter, your neighbor, the postman, right? Everybody is trying to show you that one thing because that one thing wants to be released. So what we do, even in the highest and more advanced spiritual and self-development world, we learn to dismiss it. We learn to get rid of it. We don't want to feel it, like Jesus Christ. That's the last thing we want to do. We want to get rid of it. So this is what I also did with you in Soul Hub last year. That thingy that we were doing, and I learned that. I got certified in that, which means it's what we believe we should do. And Psyche, same thing. Why it didn't fucking work for 6 years since I've been deleting more than 2,000 beliefs and reprogram my subconscious mind with every freaking thing that I found there. Subliminals, NLP, Theta Healing, Psyche, like whatever, you name it, fucking name everything, because you know me, I was obsessed, but I was obsessed because of the pain. So that's what my addiction, but now I know, right? So the idea of what I want to tell you that, guys, it's so simple as to actually go and face that, feel that fucking emotion, and forever it disappears. But what we learned is to reprogram, release, delete, do this, do that, like try to do some kind of magic. And I would say EFT kind of got closer because you feel the emotion and you start tapping, so that's already like closer than anything else. But it's still, it most like tapping on different aspects of that, not the one thing, the one card that you take out from the card tower and it collapses all. And that's the thing that I'm doing right now, and I'm teaching you to do. And it's working. God, guys, I see, since I'm doing this with everyone now. Like, I'm not using any other method technique. I'm doing some of the channeling, but this is the only thing, because I've did this with someone and they stopped addictions of 30 years in a few sessions. They stopped taking pills, like sleeping pills, because there's so much stress in us, right? The stress that we're not going to be loved, or we're going to fail, or we're going to, this and that means, and the shame. And then so we keep like trying to avoid to feel that way, because this is how your nervous system was conditioned as a child. You felt a pain, and then your system said, okay, I'm going to do everything I can so you never feel this again. And so basically we keep running away from feeling that. And the only thing would be stop, feel it, you're free. Yes, Simela.
But I think that actually most of these therapies came up because you're not able, most of the times, to sit and really sit it out, and go into the pain. Then you just start running away from it.
True.
So that's why all these therapies came up, so that somebody can help you to see it and to, let's say, solve it. I mean, because if you're not aware of the pain you have, how are you going to sit with it?
But
How are you going to sit it out?
this is all you need to do. Like this, knowing this, what we're just talking about it, it's super simple. This is not a technique, it's consciousness. What you're going to do, it's you basically holding it with your consciousness. It's you creating space. It's you, right? This is not a technique, it's not a method, it's something that you were doing when you were 2 years old.
Okay, but as an infinite being of light, I mean, this emotion, whatever it is actually your human experience.
No, you missed the first half an hour of what I just talked about.
Okay, I'll listen back to it, and then I come next time with the questions.
But very good question, actually. But it's the shadow on your true self. It's not the human experience, it's the matrix shadow. So I explained that half an hour, so I'm not going to go back into this. What we're doing here, like, as your journey and we remembering who we truly are, is to realize that this is not who you are. This is on top of who you are. And the only, like, okay, suffering is not real. Suffering is not who you are. With what we do here, with this technique, suffering completely goes away. Imagine your life without suffering. You suffer because of the fear. You suffer because of the shame. You suffer because of proving. You need to push and prove, and you're doing all the things in your life to escape the beliefs that you have, which is the fear. That creates the fear, which you just said, failing. Okay, so tell me, what is the emotion that you feel when you have that thought of, I fail and it turns out I'm not good enough?
Fear?
Fear.
Yeah.
What kind of fear? Fear of what?
Fear of failure.
Okay, so what is the emotion that you would feel if you failed?
I would be anxious. It's like an anxiety, yeah, anxiety, I think would be the thing.
Uh-huh. You can do better than that.
Mm, mm, I don't know.
Listen to the words of what I know, because I know when you were telling me what your children said.
mm.
Replay that and tell me the emotion.
It's actually more anger or not feeling understood.
Okay, very good. Anger, there you go.
Mm.
Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you pick now, because if you know what to do and next time you feel something else, it's not anger, but something else, then you know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you the steps, and it's the most easiest thing in the world. But first of all, before we go there, and what I wanted to say, we're going over with 10 minutes over 8. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to offer you another call this week, because we skipped the 1st of May. So I want to make up for you and give you another call. No, I mean, not this week, but well, this week, next week, somewhere in between. If we can agree on, I don't know, Tuesday evening or something like that. And yeah, I think Monday is not good for me. But anyway, like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday evening, probably Tuesday is good for me. So where we can do another call, and then I can go a little bit further with this, because I don't want to like chop up everything. I just want to really give time for this. And I feel I don't want to go into the steps before we talk about what you do, like what is your escaping mechanism, because this is important. So next time you can catch it, and then you have a choice, so you don't go in the same old same thing. Right, David, so what do you do when you feel this, maybe at the end of the day, I'm not going to have that, or I'm not enough to make that happen?
I have the audio. Okay. Um, yeah, it could be the feel. It's a mixture of feelings. Of course, shame could be, of course, the underlying one, but yeah, it's
What do you
like
do? What do you do when
what?
you feel that?
Yeah, I give up. I say, okay, everything will be futile, and I don't I don't try as hard as I would do if I knew that the result is given, that is really coming to me, and yeah, it's a matter of time. So I just say, if I'm going to fail, why should I even try in the first
Okay.
place? Or at least kind of, you try but not as hard, or you procrastinate, you second thought every decision. Is it the right one? Is it not? Perfectionism. But I think they are all like symptoms.
Absolutely. You see that very well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So what you just said, right? You don't really do anything. Absolutely. You procrastinate, which is not doing anything. Right? You are indecisive, obviously, right? So you're like, why to do even, like, why even bring a decision? Not bringing a decision is also bringing a decision, right? It's the decision of not doing it. So staying where you are. So you see, I
And,
just wanted to,
and also
yes,
perfectionism is like it's
yes,
not good enough. It should be a little bit better. Yeah, you
yeah,
try to. Mm.
which ends up in what?
Yeah. Um, yeah, procrastinating as well, kind of, or not
Yeah,
finishing it in a
yeah.
way. Yeah,
Okay.
the
Very,
very
very good. I'm so
process.
proud of you. So proud of you that you are becoming aware. You see, guys, this is very important, especially when you want to do like a way to create that freedom. So let's say a business or something that anything, right? So it doesn't matter anything. You are not going to do anything, no matter how many possibilities are going to show up, because the fear will convince you it doesn't make even sense. So, and then you suffer of not doing anything, right? And then you beat yourself up. So you basically end up in this looping of feeling shit, but then I need to do something, but I don't do anything because like why it doesn't make any sense, so then I end up in feeling shit, so then I beat myself up. So I love that you are aware of this. It's just so beautiful, because as you see, we are all in this kind of loop. Amazing. Simela, what's your thing? What do you do to
I changed. I immediately do something which changed my vibration. So I listen to something on YouTube. I do a meditation. I do affirmations. I just change my vibration. I don't want to stay in this like angriness or being bothered. And I say, no, 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 I don't want that. I don't want that. So I immediately start, yeah. I have a couple of meditations or YouTube channels I like. So I go look for something which just changes my vibration, and I just I'll find again. I don't want to look to it, I don't want to go into it. I don't want to pay any attention to it. I don't want to give it any energy. I don't want it to grow.
Mhm. Very good. Okay, okay. So this, I love that, right? I love that. It's let's say it's a healthy, much healthier way to push it down than there's so much other things, right? So I'm also curious, what do you do after? Like, do you come to any conclusion of I need to work harder, I need to try a different thing, I need to do more?
No, no, not anymore. Before I was like, oh, I have to push harder. I have to change strategy. But now I'm just saying, well, okay, good. It's fine. They don't probably understand my way of thinking right now, but it's good. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not going to push harder. And I say to myself, I don't need to prove anybody wrong. Although the feeling is there, like, yeah, 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 but I keep telling myself, okay, I don't need to prove anybody wrong, that what they are saying is not correct, and I have to prove that I am enough. So I'm like at the edge of this, telling myself that it doesn't really matter what they're thinking. It is just something
Yeah, but it
outside
does
of
actually.
it.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. I also, you remember that I did a little bit of comparison with you and my client the other call, the client that was doing positive thinking on top. So I feel like it's a little bit like that. So just is we're talking about full honesty, guys. We're talking about patterns that we learn. So please don't take it and we know we are five of us. We have been here forever. So I really, really want to call out the shit. So we see it. Otherwise it just keeps getting away on the back door. So it's it's that thing that I feel that you put on top it's like blah 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 blah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, leave me alone. Like I'm good. Ha ha. So that kind of things, it's
Yeah.
what you do to feel better because it feels super painful, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to business, like fucking failing the whole fucking business and being in one, fucking debt and then this fucking. So there's a lot of anger there, which obviously. So, and then what you do on top is to try to talk yourself out with positive thinking.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like, and that's what they see. And that's what it makes you angry because they see it and they pointing it out. They're calling out on your bullshit saying, Mom, you're too positive. And like, calm down, stop doing that. And you are like, you becoming even angrier because they're calling you out on your escaping mechanism.
hmm Yeah. Now that's a very good definition. Amazing. Thank you.
Very, very powerful. Okay, good. Claire, what are you doing?
Well, for a very long time, I just escape into books, usually books that I've read before, and I like to go into the world of Harry Potter or of various other writers that I enjoy. And so I just go somewhere else. That doesn't solve the problem. Recently, I've been trying to, I'm not sure, I don't, with a certain amount of success, but not real success, I don't think, to try and take the incident that makes me feel ashamed out and look at it and try and pour love at it and try and remember, all right, I was doing the best I knew at the time. And so to try to dissolve this feeling of shame. But there's still things coming up. And of course nowadays I've been listening to an awful lot of YouTube podcasts because they're full of hope and opportunity and the world is going to become a better place and so on. So that's very encouraging. But that's also positive thinking, if you like.
Well, it's escaping, yeah. It's I feel
Escaping.
very bad, right? So I'm looking for something that makes me feel better.
Mhm. Right.
So that's really good. That's really good. Okay, girls, Leo, Renate, can you tell me what do you do when you start to feel this uncomfortable feeling normally? If you are able to come or unmute yourself.
Yes. Well, I think when I feel like this with the fear, I don't want to go in this fear because it's really like a bad feeling, like I don't know, like I feel like getting crazy, and then now
I
like
think
today.
you have your finger over the microphone. We don't hear you very well. I think you're covering.
Yeah, I just now is better.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. As when I have this feeling, I just like I feel this fear and this like my head feels like getting crazy. I just I do it like today. I take the dog and go out in the nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like to feel back the roots and say it's just a crazy feeling in my head.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Like, if it's like this, you say it's how to say, you say everything what's what we feel comes from that we don't feel enough. It's from this I just feel that I'm not enough. I understand now. Then I work more, I do more, and all the stress and everything. Like Leonie also before the story, looking after my father, arrange everything, and then all this feels like not be enough to can do. I can do more. So the best way is like when it's possible to go out, walking, or do a meditation.
Mhm. Very good. So, so your belief is also, I'm not doing enough, right? So it's not, I'm not doing enough. So you compensate on, as we know, you're pushing harder. So you're pushing
Yeah.
harder, so you also push your body harder, and then you have more stress, and then your heart is showing you that you are stressed.
Well, it's all like you say before, you make more another course and something else and something else and looking for something else to resolve this problem. But
Yeah.
at the end, it's right, because I had, my pain of the back is because I loading up everything responsibility in the work, for my father, for everything, like I also I have the same because it was very funny when Leonie told the story, and I say, wow, it's the same like she said before. I called my father and I just was angry after, because he is like, but you have to do this and why you don't do it like this, and and then it's like, to don't feel enough. At the end is really just everything like this, to push harder, to do it better, and to say no, I'm enough, I'm good like I am, I'm perfect.
Mhm. Okay,
And
so just be like, just find the emotion of how does that make you feel when you are doing everything you can and it's still not enough. Right? That's what you want. Like what's the emotion that you feel that you've given everything, you are sacrificing your life, your free time, and you take and then you keep giving and doing and doing and doing, and all you get is like, yeah, not enough. I'm sorry, but that's not enough. You have not done enough.
yeah, I think I have to forget, like to well, it comes for sure from the child.
Yeah, we don't care about that really, really. Like, it doesn't matter where it's coming from, just tell me the emotion. You see, I'm so happy that that we are doing this. Do you see how all the time we go back to the mind? It's like we don't even know how we feel, because this is what we did our entire life. Like, I call out the emotion, she goes back in the mind, thinking, right? Thinking. I don't want to feel. Like, I don't even want to go there to see what the heck is the emotion. I've been doing this for so long, believing that I'm in the healing journey. And all of you, like, with David, I had the same thing, right? I asked him, what's the emotion? So he goes back to explaining the story, and I'm like, but what's the emotion? This is what we learned, that we have no idea what's the emotion because we suppressed it so much. So we are in our heads. So I'm calling you out. What's the emotion?
If the emotion is like to don't feel loved, so
yeah. So
yeah.
it's not, yeah, not feeling loved. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. Very good. Very good. That's the root, right? That's why we do this, and that's why I didn't want to do this fast, because I want all of you to call out your biggest thing. And Renate, I know this is your biggest thing from our session together, but I don't want to tell each of you, any of you, what is yours, because you know yours. So I just want you to realize what is your biggest thing. And if that would be gone, like, just imagine how your life, or similar your business, would look like when that is gone. Like, no anger, like no anger whatsoever, no trigger, like there's no trigger anymore. Because if the anger is gone, the trigger is gone. So nobody is able to push any button because you don't have any button. Yeah. Leo, what's your escaping mechanism?
So I feel so the feeling that I have is like the rejection. So I'm feeling rejected. So it's kind of the gift that I'm offering is like completely rejected. And anger, as I said before, resentment for having wasted my time and energy and headspace and everything for doing all that. So the recent incident was that I was organizing a rehabilitation for my father, and I did all the paperwork. There's a lot of stuff to do to go through, and it was really quickly accepted. And it pays, so it's for free. So it's for free, 3 weeks. You have therapies, you have great food and everything. So I would do it immediately. But yeah, I would take it. But my father said no. I don't want to go. I'm not going. And I was like, I organized it for you. It's really great. And then he said, no, but your uncle was in another institution. It was so good. It's better than the one that you chose for me. I was like, "Hey." So yeah, so what I do in those incidents is that I think I draw a line, or I say, okay, that's it. So that's what I think. It's like, okay, that's it. It's the last thing I've done for you. So so I'm really, I don't know, like creating a border or something, or like say, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. So next time you want something, put yourself. And that's
What
how
do
I'm
you
dealing with it.
do? What do you do in other situations? Like because of course you also have a business, right? And then having a
Mm.
business comes with sales, and sales comes with rejection. So what do you
Yeah.
usually do when you have this fear coming up?
Mm. Yeah, well, let's say so maybe it's not the time, it's not the right person or the right
Yeah,
situation.
what do you
But
do? Like,
so I
what do you
usually
do to feel better? I mean,
I usually what I do is that I analyze. So maybe it's not the best thing to do, but I try to find out. So like looking at it in a more objective way, like
yeah.
okay, this is the situation. What have I done? Um, was I kind of following through with no, it's not a script or something, but um, did I show enough empathy for the concerns of my client? So I really I tried to find out what was going on, if there's something that I could have noticed to turn this around. So maybe there are some fears inside of my customer that I should have addressed that I didn't. So I try to analyze it a bit, and this gives me a feeling of safety. So if I just sit down and say, okay, what was happening there? This, and this. Okay, I could have done this better. Okay, the next time, okay, what can I learn from it? So I try not to bash myself. It's like, okay, you've, yeah, okay, you've missed your chance, but I think, okay, what can I do better next time?
Very good, very good. Okay, so you see, sorry, let's see if the camera is focusing. So you as well, these are the things actually, it's so really funny that even the coping mechanism comes from childhood. It's something you were doing back then anyway, and you just continued your entire life. Because I'm sure Claire was also reading books.
Yes.
I was also, like just reading books and becoming better and drawing and escaping basically when I was a child as well. But I also learned like, when I feel this shame that I got a bad mark, I just have to work harder. Like that was how I was conditioned. So that never changed. So that's what I did all the time when I was feeling the same thing. So, Simela, is that your hand up since before
Yeah.
or?
No. It's new. It's new. I
Ah,
finish, and then I have a comment on that. Yeah.
yeah. So you will realize that you kind of have the same thing forever. I know David also had the same thing from when he was 5. So, like if something is not going well, you just get super angry, and then you get angry at yourself, and then you just find like, fuck this, I'm not doing anything, fuck this shit. So, and I remember he told this story that he was 5, he was doing the same thing with drawing, so he learned this, like, I'm just throwing everything away. That's the way I cope with.
Starting it over and making even
Oh yeah,
perfect.
starting it over. Yeah, his is like it's always
Yeah.
starting it from the scratch.
Exactly.
So this is the way we learn. Now I look around my clients, my friends, my people, everybody's doing this, guys. Everybody, this is crazy. This is the shadow all the time there, I see people, Simela Jody is always pushing her body to extremes. So that's what we did actually. So many of us created from our businesses are created from our avoiding. So our obsessions of avoiding the pain. So it's all based on lack. So this is one of my biggest realizations, that I created a healing business because I just wanted to escape my own shame and my own unworthiness. So, and everybody's doing the same thing, So we're making business. Like Jody always pushed with Zumba and pushed her body, and then found yoga and pushed her body with yoga. And then, she's doing this extreme body, she's always pushing her body, because her whole entire life, she pushed her body because she was put to work in the business of their parents, like running like crazy every summer without a break since she was 14 or 16, I think. So she learned that body is the way you just compensate with. You go to the gym, and she goes to the gym for 3 hours, and then she dies next day. So, and I know a lot of other people who are on, obviously everybody knows people on alcohol, same thing, on even pills, normal pills, same way, right? I feel something, let me take a pill. Like, I don't want to pay attention to what's going on. Same things with, binge watching, YouTube, Netflix, porn watching, shopping, sex. The problem is with all these, and building the next business, another strategy, or I don't know, a million different things. And these are also physical things, right? As I said, a few things. We also have spiritual things. We also have, like, I know people who are going to psychic readings. Like every time they feel a little bit like, ooh, like, I don't know, like, insecurity, fear, they go for a reassurance right away. So there are people who are paying, they're spending thousands on psychic readings every 2 days. Tell me what's going to happen. Tell me if I'm going to meet this man. Tell me why this man is not calling me back. Tell me, like, like all the time the fear is, oh my God, I'm going to be rejected. So I already make sure that, to tell me that I'm not going to be rejected. So how much money goes down? I mean, or buy a Gucci bag, because then you will feel more confident, because you feel unsexy and fat. So all of a sudden, like, you're afraid you're going to be rejected, and then so you start to put, flash, or fast lashes or stuff like that. So beauty industry is all based on that. I mean, guys, or eating, right? So many times we are not eating because we are actually hungry. We're eating because we feel shit inside. And then you are like, okay, let me just go to have a little bit of like snacks, or chocolate or whatever. Like, if you really think about this, everybody's lives actually is like 90% is about pushing down, doing everything you can. All their lives are about escaping and tiptoeing around other people, in relationships as well. It's like, I'm not allowed, I'm afraid to say something, that because then I will be rejected. So all their lives, everybody's life, 90%, even overachieving, guys. And I know, because I believe, like, if I just push harder in my business, I'm eventually going to get to a place where I feel successful. And I just got burned out, because that's what we do. We over push it. So I was really looking around with this awareness, and realizing I don't know even one person who does not do that. not even one, who doesn't have fears and then obsessing over pushing of or their shadow away. Our reality right now is about us all day, all night, fighting against our shadow. So what I'm here to do, and because I did it for myself, and I started to do it now around mid to my, and it's crazy. It's like, oh my God, this works so fast. And then all your fucking problems are gone, all because you realize, I realize, all fucking problems and all our challenges and all our suffering and our fucking everything is all coming down to this one emotion or two emotions that we've been all our lives escaping. Everything, all our fucking illnesses, physical illnesses, mental illnesses, emotional illnesses, all our imbalances, all our addictions, all our obsessions, everything comes down to this one thing. And it blows my fucking mind off. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. And I hear the stories of people doing this. And guys, you know, Frank and Paul, I talked so much about Frank and Paul before. All they were teaching was this: sit down, stay in the emotion, right? Don't pay attention to what your mind is telling you while you are sitting with it, because your mind will going to go blah 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 to wanting to distract you, because that's what it did all your entire life, trying to take you out of that feeling it, because it believes you're going to fucking die. Because you're like, oh my God, all my life I tried to escape feeling shame. So of course it's counterproductive for your nervous system to go and feel it. But that's the only way you can escape it forever. No more running away, no more proving. It's insanely powerful and easy. Yes, Simela, if you still remember.
Yeah, it's actually another theme, but it's something to pick up for as an idea for you for the next time or one of the next meetings. It's about parenting our parents. Because we have Renata and also Leonie was talking about this today, and I think this is definitely something we have to talk about. It's parenting our parents. And
okay, here is one sentence for that. So, and we finish for today. I could go on forever. I feel so energized and pumped up because I feel like I finally found the Holy Grail. And because I'm experienced.
You said that the last time.
I know. It's always the next level, but now I'm experiencing that thing in my life. I just feel so different than ever before. And I know how I felt my entire life. So since December, I was on this like roller coaster of going up, 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 up. And I'm like, I finally broke through it. Like now I feel like I'm out of this. And that's why I'm so excited. But one sentence to parenting your parents, that's not your job. It's a bullshit thing in spirituality. Believe me. But I tell you now this because if you asked me maybe a month ago, I would have told you something different. You don't need to do that because they are just there to show you what is going on inside of you. It's just that one emotion. And then I know because I'm seeing this now. It's my experience. It's not just theory. And I'm so happy to really tell you guys about my experience with my mother because she was able to do this. You don't even have to be spiritual whatsoever. And guys, she's not at all. She doesn't believe in anything I do, which is I love so much that she's able to do that. But the transformation she went through by doing this, by facing her biggest fears, and the person she became now, it's not even like it's basically a completely different person. It's what we talk about, identity shifts and all of that, all of the things that I've talked to you about. This is how you do it because I didn't do anything with her other than she facing her biggest emotion, her biggest fear. And not because life didn't allow her to escape them anymore, which is true for me, right? I manifested my biggest fear. So I did not have a choice but to actually allow it to feel it. And she did the same thing. She manifested her biggest two fears that her entire life she was running away from. So she did not have any other choice than facing them. So now that we faced them, we came out on the other side and we are like, okay, wow, okay, like so different. Like, guys, really, like I always woke up the last a year and a half waking up and already having anxiety of like, I should do more. I need to, do my business. I should do this. I have to, I'm not earning enough money. I'm not proving enough. What have I done with my life? Like this crazy not enoughness that's my version, of like, I should be somewhere else, or I should have done this and this. I should have earned this and this. I should be someplace else, some other thing, like, where's the proof? And that's it's the voice of my not enoughness, was the voice of my enoughness. So now I'm waking up and the first thing in my mind is like, oh my God, this is just such an amazing new day. And even if I have nothing in my calendar, it doesn't make me feel like shit. Or it's the opposite. I'm like, oh, I have all the day for myself. I'm like, ooh, what do I want to do? And I don't feel shame. I don't feel guilt. I feel like it's my dream life. Like this is what everybody would want to do. Like have an entire day doing and having the freedom to do whatever they want to do. And or whatever. So that's what I know, because I did this thing that I'm talking to you about, and now all of a sudden I'm not feeling the things I've been feeling my entire life. And of course, when they are gone, it's when you actually realize how much shit you are doing because you don't realize when you're doing it because you are so fucking used to it. You only see it when they're gone. Ooh, so much freedom all of a sudden, so much peace. So much peace inside of you, silence, stillness, joy, freedom out of nowhere, no reason. You're not looking for reasons to feel the way you want to feel. It's just there and it's just normal. And my mother asked me, like, why are you so happy the other day? I was just laughing almost all day. And it's like, why are you so happy? And I'm like, why not? I don't know. Like, well, I'm alive. Like, why wouldn't I? And this is from someone who has felt not enough their entire life. This is a rebirth. This is completely new life. And this is what I want for you guys. And that's why I'm so excited. So sorry, I went like 2 hours, 46 minutes, but I hope this was very, very useful call for you. And I want us to agree on a day that we can do our 1st of May call, and then I can continue on this. And yeah, so
Tuesday's fine for me.
Tuesday's fine for you. Okay.
Monday for me.
Monday? What?
Tuesday?
Tuesday, okay. Uh-huh. Anyone else?
I can Monday or Tuesday. I don't care. I will
Okay.
be there. We will be here.
Leo? Oh, you are muted.
So I'm traveling. I think I might be traveling by train on Tuesday, but I can participate and just listen. At least I don't know the situation at the train, but I can be there. I think as soon as I have a connection,
Okay.
I will dial in and yeah. So either way, either day works for me, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday,
Anyone
Wednesday.
on Monday? Is that good for you on Monday? So, because I see Simela,
I could manage Monday, yes.
you could manage Monday. David, you can do Monday. Leo, you can do Monday. Renate, you can do Monday. She doesn't. Yeah. I mean, we don't hear you. I don't know if you are talking.
Yes, sorry, it's the 19, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can also, yes.
Okay, well then, Simela, you're happy. Everybody can do on Monday. Yay! Okay, so we have Monday, 7 o'clock then.
Amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. Woo-hoo, I can join you.
Yay! Okay, guys, so that's what we're going to continue. As a kind of awareness homework, just be aware of this, okay? Just be aware on your life how much you are, like what are your escaping things? What is the things that you do if and which you normally wouldn't do if you didn't have that trigger or that emotion. So just become aware of how much our life is about running away, avoiding, and how actually it could be different. Yeah. And then we see each other then on Monday. Enjoy your weekend and a lot of kisses for you and see you soon.
Bye bye. Was
Bye.
good.